God says, this is your life. You're allowed to change your mind, to change your heart. You're allowed to be a different person, to wake up one day and not want to do the things you've been doing all your life. You're allowed to love who you want, to move on from the people who are not good to you, to let go of anyone without any kind of explanation, without any kind of regret. You're allowed to make mistakes, to learn from them, or not to learn from them, and experience everything all over again. You're allowed to forget your past if you want to, or to stay in it, but you must also understand that this is not how you will grow. You're allowed to change careers, to dress differently, to chase different dreams, to change locations, even if at first you're terrified to do so. You're allowed to dislike yourself, but also allowed to change those same parts you don't see eye to eye with, to work on them until you're completely comfortable with who you are. This is your life. Make it count. Make your own validation, your own path, your own way of life. You are enough, and you are not broken. You're a lot stronger than you want to believe. Now breathe. Subscribe our channel if you believe in God. God message: don't focus on your enemies. Focus on God. Don't focus on the chaos around you. Focus on Christ. Let the promises of God overtake you. Let the promises of God lead your footsteps. Let God's peace shield every aspect of your life. Let God keep you. Let His word shield you. His mercy will not leave you. His kindness will not abandon you. Choose to lay at His feet. Lay before Him and yield your heart before Him. Lay your cares before Christ. He is greater than your problem. Christ is greater than your circumstance. Choose to remember that Christ will never abandon you or forsake you. Choose Him. Choose to surrender every aspect of your heart over to Christ. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He will never abandon you. Submit to Him. Type 333 if you have faith on Lord. Universe message: aloof fear that you carry in your energy is in your unconscious. This is why when something triggers you and you start feeling fearful, it's like your entire body goes into flight and fight mode.
Welcome to Alumni Meet of Batch 2012.
वो देख, अरे तो राठी सर है।
आज तक का मेरा सबसे शैतान स्टूडेंट, बड़े आदमी बन गए।
सर आपका ही सिखाया हुआ है सर। सर अभी भी वही बुक चल रही है, ओसवाल वाली, इसे तो हमें पढ़ाते थे।
अच्छी चीजें कभी बदलती नहीं।
अच्छी चीजें कभी बदलनी भी नहीं चाहिए। ओसवाल, लर्निंग मेड सिंपल।
The unconscious fear literally takes over your body and conscious mind. You start seeing everything from the lens of your past traumas and fears. Self-awareness helps you to practice the pause at the time of the trigger so that you can observe the unconscious fear from a higher consciousness. When you are connected to yourself spiritually, your consciousness is not just limited to the body and mind. At the higher consciousness helps you to observe your own unconscious fears from a neutral standpoint. And through that watchfulness, the unconscious becomes conscious. Everything that's unconscious in you is your shadow, and consciousness is light. The moment you make the shadow conscious, it's transformed into light. becoming aware to affirm. God message today: when we're faced with the unknown or a troubling situation, what tends to happen is we begin to worry. It's important to recognize that worry is essentially what happens when we don't respond to life. Worry is a reaction, not a response. Worry happens when we allow our feelings to react for us, which often causes a cycle of focusing upon something that's fearful, which allows even more thoughts that feel like that, all of which continues to lower our frequency. Recognize that worry is always an indication to start responding to life. It's never a reason to fear. Type, "I am ready to shine," to affirm. God says, "I know that it has been difficult to see other people succeed before you, to witness them living their dream life while things haven't changed for you. But you've got to remind yourself that just because they're succeeding, that doesn't mean that you can't." Don't throw all of your positive thinking and healthy changes out of the window simply because they're succeeding. Whether you recognize it or not, change is occurring in your life. Don't give up before the physical manifestation of it reveals itself to you. Stick around the magic to occur in your life. Type, "I am becoming aware," to affirm. Angle's message: if we buy into the lie that happiness is any number of endless pursuits besides Christ, we're doomed to unhappiness because we're pursuing the wrong things. But when we believe that ultimate happiness and transcendent joy are to be found only in God, then we will, for a time, turn off all our screens, all texts, and social media and movies, and TV, and open the Word of God, asking His Spirit to speak joy into our lives. God is saying to you today, you are meant to go through this lesson, not fly over it or dig your way underneath it. Right through it, through the fire, through the pain, through the fear. The desire you have to get better and grow is a sign that you're in a good place. The urge you have to listen and value your gut feelings is a sign that you have already grown from the lesson. Being aware of the process and knowing that it's a temporary obstacle that is challenging you to grow and get better is a sign that you've already won. Trust the process. All is well. You aren't ever give more than you can handle. Remember that. Type, "I'm gentle with myself," to affirm.